A huge thanks to my Patreon supporters for making this episode possible. Good morning, fellow mathematicians! Welcome back to another video. Papa Flammy here with a rather short video today. I already made a short that is kind of ironic. I already made a short video over on my other channel, Flammy Maths 2. Check it out for a lot of mathematics shorts over there on this very problem. It's about denesting so-called radicals, okay, things with square roots. And this right here is a former Cambridge interview question. And a few people already told me over on my second channel that Steve already made a video on that, I think, a while back. But I still think that this is quite an interesting topic, and a few more videos on denesting radicals will follow up. This is also a field of mathematics that Ramanujan dealt a lot with. So yeah, it's pretty interesting in and of itself. And we are going to simplify this radical today. Like I mentioned before, it's a former Cambridge interview question asking what the value of this thing is going to be out of those three choices. Other than that, video sponsored by the ridiculously cool people over on Rich. More information at the end of the video, and now we are going to dive right in. So there's basically a simple trick you can use here. Let me tell you about the basic procedure you could do to solve something like this all the time. If the cert exists. Namely, what you can do is you can declare this to be just some number x, okay, and what you can then do is you can square both sides of the equation and then try to solve for something nicer than this weird radical right here. But there's actually something way easier you could take a look at. Namely, what we have right here under our radical is actually a binomial theorem, you could say. You could basically complete the square on what you have down here, and the cool thing is if you take the square root of a squared, okay, of a perfect square, for example, or just a squared radical under here, then basically you are going to get the absolute value of this thing out, which is quite good because this simplifies the expression a lot. And now we are going to see how we can turn what we have down here under our square root into something which is of the form of a square. And so what we are going to do is, at first we are going to rewrite what we have under the cert right here a tiny little bit. Because you might notice that 3 is nothing other than the successor of 2, meaning overall that this right here is nothing but 2 and then plus 1, because 3 is 2 plus 1, like mentioned before. So 2 minus the square root of 2 plus 1. And this right here is actually freaking perfect, okay? What we have here right now is so freaking close to being just a regular binomial, because what you might notice is that the 2 that we have in the front right here is nothing other than the square root of 2 but squared. And then we are going to have the middle part, negative 2 times the square root of 2 and then plus 1. Now, good thing is we can multiply anything by 1 and it won't change anything. If you only have one apple, then you only have one apple. So meaning what we have right here in the middle is the same as 2 times the square root of 2 times 1. And now we got the nice form that we want to have, because 1 is also nothing other than 1 squared. And what we have right here is just a simple binomial in our number square root of 2 and 1. Obviously with a negative sign in the middle, so giving us square root of 2. Minus 1 squared. And if we were to multiply everything out, you are going to get back to exactly what we have here, resulting in the same thing that we have up here under the third. And yeah, this is good. Like mentioned before, now we have the square root of something squared, and yeah, this is good. This is just going to turn into the absolute value of things. Meaning our expression, so square root of 3 minus 2 times the square root of 2, is going to turn into the third of square root of 2 minus 1 squared. And now this right here is going to result in the absolute value of what we have right here, okay, square root of 2 minus 1. But the good thing is square root of 2 is approximately 1.41, yeah, 1.4, something like that. Meaning 1.4 minus 1 is already positive, meaning we are just going to get the nice answer out of square root of 2 minus 1. And this right here is way nicer than basically having a square root inside of a square root. If you were to implement an algorithm for just approximating the number, square root of 2 minus 1 is way easier to approximate using Taylor series expansion than a square root inside of a square root. Because if you were to expand the square root in and of itself, you would get infinitely many terms involving a square root. yet again. And then you would need to have an infinite series inside of an infinite series, which is going to be quite ugly. And this right here is way easier to compute, okay? Just the Pythagoras constant -1, and yeah, then you are pretty much good to go. And this is a procedure that holds in many, many algebraic fields. Namely, what we are going to deal with in the next videos, just basic procedure, is if we take a look at the square root of some x plus y, we can basically express this as the square root of some number a plus or minus, really depends, the square root of some number b, because you see 1 is nothing other than the square root of 1. And this right here is an assumption that you can take into consideration as being the general solution of a set of numbers of this form right here, okay? And yeah, this makes your life way easier than solving a system of equations involving two variables, okay? Turning into a 4th degree polynomial overall. And this is what we are going to deal with in the next video, somewhat in the next video, and maybe we are going to discuss a few results by our boy Ramanujan. And this basically concludes today's video. Like mentioned at the start of the video, the nice people from Rich were kind enough to sponsor yet another video here on this channel. And the cool thing is, they actually celebrate their 8th anniversary right now. Back in the days, they funded their whole project Rich over on Kickstarter with their Rich wallets, but now they celebrate their 8th anniversary and they have a big site-wide sale going on over there. And I'm going to tell you a bit more about it. If you're not yet familiar with the Rich, do not worry. They are basically the creators of very, very good looking and highly durable lifestyle products like their commuter backpacks. They are my most favorite product over on their website. This one is the one in black. It looks absolutely amazing. I just love this thing, using it each and every day. And obviously their signature product, the Rich wallet, which has been funded on Kickstarter and realized 8 years ago by the father-son duo Daniel and Paul Kane. And up until this point they sold over 1 million wallets, which is pretty ridiculous if you ask me. That's a lot of wallets they shipped out worldwide. And the good thing is, each and every person who purchased the Rich wallet won't need another one, because they promise you that those things are indestructible. Okay, they are going to last a lifetime, and you're actually going to get a lifetime warranty on those. If you want to read more about the whole story about how they perfected their wallet and how it got funded, etc., you can take a look over on their website, and there you can read the whole story if you're interested. But other than that, way better than that, they also run a 15% of nearly everything over on their website. And it's not restricted to backpacks and sport bags and Rich wallets. Actually, up until this point, they also sell stuff like power banks and nice over on their website, and it looks pretty good, the stuff. And they also released a bunch of new wallets like the gold ones and Damascus ones. They just look absolutely amazing. Take a look at those. What are those? They are looking pretty good. So definitely take a look over there and support the channel this way. And I thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then please like, subscribe, and recommend channels. Like, if you want to support channel a bit more, go over on STEM merch, buy some stuff or whatever you wish. And up until next video, please stay safe and have a flammable day. Ciao.